Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor and glory to Yahawah, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone who rule well, and blessings to the hopeful elect, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Yeah, this is going to be a quick lesson, man. Lord willing, it will be edifying for you brothers out there, you know. And I'm going to go into this word bank, okay, because if you know anything about the scriptures, which a lot of the time are parabolic, which a parable is nothing but a dark saying. In fact, before I get into that, we can actually get this Matthew chapter 13, and it's Matthew 13 and 9. It says, "He who have ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came unto him, why speakest, and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Okay. And let's get that word parables real quick. Alright, so the disciples asked Yahushai, why do you speak to them in parables? Okay, and that word for parables is
Strong's G 3850 parabole.
Right, parabole, and it says placing a placing of one thing by the side of another, juxtaposition as of ships in battle. It says comparing comparison of one thing with another, likeness or similitude. So it doesn't have to be exactly what it says, but it could be like it's basically an example or like a comparison. Okay, this is an example by which a doctrine or precept is illustrated. So it's a way to get a point across. Like Jake speaking parables all the time. You know, like when Jake is just basically relaxing, you know, a Jake might ask another Jake, "Yeah, what are you doing?" Just be like, "Oh, I'm chilling." Does that mean that he's sitting there with a hoodie on in the hot sun? You know, even on a hot day, he's got his puffer jacket on, and he's so cold that he's chilling, even on a 35-degree weather. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that he's kicking it. He's chilling, man. He's relaxing, and that's how Jake speak. All right, and Yahawah, he's the ultimate Jake, man. From the tribe of Judah. So, that's how the Lord basically deals, It says a narrative fictitious about agreeable to the laws and usages, which that's basically it. That's what I wanted to get. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back into it. It says, and the disciples came unto him and said, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Now, although, Jake used a lot of parables to speak, they don't speak straight up. They speak slang and whatever. At the same time, this truth is likened unto a one big parable, because a lot of Jake out here can't get this truth. Okay? A lot of Jake ain't fit to get this truth. Why? Let's go to Isaiah. In fact, let me go to Romans. Let's get straight to the point. 11 and 7. It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So only the election are going to receive these parables. And that's who Yahawah was talking about. He says, look, man, unto you's given the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it's not given. Now the mysteries are revealed unto who? Okay, let's get Amos. Chapter 3 verse 7, it says, surely the Lord Yahawah power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Alright, basically the elect. Alright, so the only, the secrets are revealed to certain men. Alright, and then when certain men are woken up, they get the secrets. Alright, they get the real riches, which is the money, and the scriptures describes this truth or the word as being depths of riches that are uncomparable to any other. Okay, you can read that for yourself in Romans 11 and 33. Okay, but it's not given unto everybody, man. All right, and it says it's secret. When you have a secret, you don't tell everybody. Not everybody knows a secret. Okay, a secret is a secret because it's supposed to be hid, and it's only supposed to be told to certain people. All right. When you were growing up in school and you had a secret, you didn't go running around telling everybody, because it no longer becomes a secret. It means that everybody knows, what's going on. Everyone's up on game. When the Lord don't want that. Okay? The Lord don't want that. The Lord says broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction, but narrow is the way that leadeth unto life. And there's a lot of people that are walking past, a lot of us out here in this day and age, in these last days of the last days, that are basically going to die, that are going to perish. Okay? Right, let's get into the lesson. It says, Luke 19:12. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered to them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. Now this word occupy is very, very important. It's very interesting because when you go into the word and what it means, right, which I'm going to get right now, the Greek is pragmatuomai. Okay? There you go, pragmatuomai. Let me just play it.
Strong's G 4231. Pragmatuomai. Pragmatuomai.
Pragmatuomai, right? And it says to be occupied in anything. It says to carry on a business. Okay? So what business is this talking about? This is talking about the Lord's business. In fact, let me read this and finish off reading this here. It says to carry on the business of a banker or a trader. Okay, now remember, I was going to go into that word bank, but before I do that, let's look up this word business here real quick in the blue letter. Okay. Where is it now? Here we go. Right, now this is when Yahawah went missing for about 3 days, I believe, and his mother came up to him and they found him. His father and mother were looking for him. Okay, so we're going to read this account. And yeah, let's just start from Luke 2:46. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple. Right, this is Yahawah. They found him sitting in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. Right, so Yahawah was deep in the wisdom, man. Yahawah, them parables were revealed unto him. You know, he had 100% truth. Right, and these doctors, right, these elder men, they were hearing him and they were asking him questions. All right. And it says, and he was only a young man at this point, like 12. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. Right? Why were they astonished at his understanding and answers? Because he had the secrets, man. He had the real riches, man. He had that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that is not given to everybody. All right? So they were there just trying to pick his brain. Right? And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother is now. You got certain doctors that were amazed at a young man. Okay, like picture it today. Like you got a lot of young men out there in the camps today. You got a lot of olders, right? A lot of old bottles walking past the camps, and they be conversing with younger brothers. And when they hear what they got to say, sometimes a lot of the time, all of the time, these older men, if they ain't in that super scoffing mode, they just look like blown back by the wisdom that we have, and then they end up giving you that nod of approval. Like, yeah, you guys, man, keep doing what you're doing. Some of them tell you keep doing what you're doing. Some of them scoff and scorn. But to hell with it, man. We got the riches, okay? It says, they were amazed, and his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. All right? And notice, Mary said, thy father and I. Remember, the order, man. All right? The father is above the woman, okay? The man is above the woman. And it says, and he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? So Yahawah, he was straight on his father's business, man. He weren't messing about. Now, the scripture says, mark the perfect man. Now, if Yahawah was doing that at such a young age, then how much more us, right? Coming into this truth at the age of some of us coming in at 20, 25, maybe 28, maybe some of us come in it from our younger years, teens or whatever. But at the same time, we're supposed to follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth, right? So we're supposed to look at Yahawah and follow that example and be like, look, I'm about my father's business too. All right, this is big man stuff. This knowledge is the most powerful thing on the face of the earth. All right, it says, right, let's go back into Luke 19:13. It says, occupy till I come. So pragmatuomai in the Greek, we looked it up. It says maintain the business of a trader or a banker. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to go into this word bank real quick, because I had it on a side tab right here, right? In etymonline.com, it says bank. It says financial institution, late 15th century, right? Which when you go into a bank, you are making financial decisions, right? You might go in there, you might ask for certain things, they might check out your credit, see if you got enough credit in order to get certain things, right? It says originally money dealer's counter or a shop, a money dealer's counter, right? It says from the old Italian banca or Middle French banque, right? Both meaning table, okay? Which when you go into a bank, what do? You sit at the table and you discuss financial decisions, right? You might be going in there to ask for certain things. It says bank, it says bench or money lender's table, right? So bank is synonymous with table, bench, right? Or money counter, okay? It says, go down here, it says an institution for receiving and lending money from 1620s, okay? So it's an institution for receiving and lending money. Now, the reason why I brought that out is because when you read further into this parable right here, Luke 19 and 13, it says, occupy till I come. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. And that's exactly how 2/3 of our nation respond to the men of the Lord today when we're actually sitting at the table and we're conversing with them out on the highways and the byways or doing these sit downs. You might have your scriptures laid out on a table and you're speaking into the camera and you're actually you're trading this money. All right. But a lot of these people out here, they scoff and they scorn. All right. It says they will not have Yahawah to reign over them. Right. It says basically they don't want to get down with Yahawah, which is the volume of this book. Right. And then remember, they were delivered £10. All right. They were delivered £10. So they were given a certain amount of money, right, over the table, basically, right, which basically on the table where this truth is dealt, right, where financial money making decisions are being made, which the real money is this wisdom. In fact, let me get it. Now's the perfect time to bring it out. Romans 11 and 33. Oh, the depth of the riches. Let me highlight that. Both of the wisdom and knowledge of Yahawah. Oh, the depth of the riches. So that's this real money right here, right? How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. And one of the ways are basically these prophecies and these parables, which not everybody can get. The real riches of the scriptures, man. The secret. Okay? So let's go back into Luke. Right, we got onto verse 15 now. And it came to pass, so after they received the £10, right? It came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, right? Now, this would be when Yahawah comes back. And he's like, yo, man, he's coming to gather his elect. And he wants to know, because remember, everyone's going to be judged in the end, whether their actions were good or bad. All right, what you did with the Lord's money. Okay, so let's find out the verdict now. This is the time of judgment. And it says, then he commanded these servants having to be called unto him, whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Right? Now, how much money did you trade? Did you shut up your bowels? Remember, the scripture says riches is not comely for a niggard. Now, the real riches is the scriptures. Now, if you're going to shut up the real riches and you ain't going to go out there and trade, hey, the Lord's going to be rough with you for doing that, man. You a slothful servant. Okay? It says, whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Okay? I don't know if I've gone into this word before. Let's see if there's any meat to pull off that bone. By trading. Oh, here we go. Beautiful.
Strong's G 1281. Diapragmatuomai.
Right, so it's the same word as occupy, just got the dia in front. Diapragmatuomai. Whereas occupy was pragmatuomai, alone, which was to maintain the business of a trader or a banker. Now this is diapragmatuomai, and it says to thoroughly or earnestly undertake a business. right? To undertake a business for sake of gain. So we're supposed to be undertaking this business for a sake of a gain. Which man goes into a business and doesn't want to make no money? Right? Which of you actually want to set up a business that doesn't flourish, man? And it's the same thing with the Heavenly Father and how he treats us with giving us this money where we're supposed to go out there and make some interest, make some money, man. The Lord's got us on the street corners. He sent us out on the street corners to go out there and hustle, man. Like you got certain Jake in wickedness on the left-hand side. They be sending certain Jake on street corners to go and sell drugs for them. They front them first. They give them a lump sum of drugs and they tell them to go out there and what do they require in return? They want that moolah, man. They want that return. And if you don't have it, hey, yo, man, you know how wicked 2/3 can be. You through. Right? So let's continue on. And it says, then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 10 pounds. Right? So this guy, he times that pound by 10. He was like, look, he flipped the hell out of that. The money that he was given by the Lord. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, thou hast been faithful over very little, and have thou authority over 10 cities. Right? Remember, if the Lord said, if you've forsaken houses or mothers or brethren or wife, not brethren or brothers or sisters or wife or whatever, for my name's sake, you're going to receive 100-fold, right? So this is when we inherit the kingdom now. This is the parable that the Lord is talking about here. And the second came saying, Lord, thy pound has gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise unto him, be thou also over 5 cities. Right? So look, man, what's this telling you, man? Our works do follow us. And we're going to get that, Lord willing, as well, man. Okay? It says, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. Now this was a nigger. All right? He didn't take the business of the Lord seriously. He was a nigger that didn't want to go out and didn't want to do them extra shift to go and make some money for the business. Like that slothful son. The scriptures speak about if you have a lazy son, man, he's supposed to get dealt with, man. You know, just sitting there smoking weed all day, playing PS4. What you got to do with that child, man? You got to take him out. Right? It says, for I fear thee. Now this was his excuse. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. You trying to pull the wood over the Lord's eyes, man. The Lord knows that he tries the hearts of men. Right? And that's right. And Yahawah is an austere man, man. Not how they depict him in these movies today, with the all white robe, speaking all soft. The Lord is an austere man. Right? It says, thou takest up, that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee. Right? Thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man. Right? Taken up. Let's look up this word austere real quick, because we got to get all the meat of this bone. And this is the spirit, because I ain't even planned to even go into all of these words, but hey, it's all edification, you know? Oh man, this is a powerful word.
Strong's G 840. Austeros.
Right, austeros. And it says of mind and manners. It says harsh, rough, or rigid. Right? Hey, the Lord is rigid, man. You can't pull a fast one over the Lord. The Lord says what the Lord says. He ain't no respecter of persons. If he says do this, like when he told Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, Abraham, hey, he was rigid in that. He said, look, go and do it. And this is what you're going to have to do. Right? And the Apostle Tahar said, hey, thank the Lord, Yahawah, that Abraham wasn't a 2/3 nigger. Right? He wasn't a wicked and a wicked servant of Yahawah, man. All right? Because through him was the promises given, man. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. All right? And that's a beautiful thing. Right? So the Lord he's rough, he's harsh. His judgments are harsh and they're rough and they're rigid. And you got to be able to be willing to accept whatever judgment comes your way from Yahawah. Who are you to question the Almighty, man? Right? It says, and that's what I'm saying about this truth. We've been ordered to go out there on the highways and the hedges and teach this word. Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Not taking breaks like this wicked servant. All right, so let's continue on. It says, I'm speaking too much. But it says, thou knewest that I was an austere man, taken up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank? Right? That at my coming I might have required mine own with usury. Now we're going to go into that word bank, and then we're going to look up the word usury, and Lord willing, we're going to close it out. But let's get some understanding on this, okay? Because the word bank, it says what? Trapeza.
Strong's G 5132. Trapeza. Trapeza.
Right, trapeza, and it says a table. Remember, we went into the word bank. What did it say? Let's go back to this word bank here, and it says a money dealer's counter or shop. Okay, it says meaning from table. It says table, right? Shelf, right? It says moneylender's exchange table, right? This is the bank, an institution for receiving and lending money. Okay, so it says a table on which, but then it goes into, it says on which food is placed, an eating place. Right? The scriptures is also described as being food. It's described as being milk. It's described as being meat. Right? Did not the Lord say to Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep? Feed them with what? With food. Right? Because this, what you do on a table is you eat also, man. All right? All right? Money making exchanges is made over a table, but you also eat on a table, man. Okay? It says to the food placed on a table, to set a table, put food before one, a banquet or a feast. Now this is a feast, brothers, man. Right? The table or a stand of a money changer. Here we go. So it's a table where you eat on, or it's a table for a money changer. Right? These are the parables that the Lord was speaking about that will be revealed unto us, man. These are the dark sayings, and you got to go into these words to bring it out. Okay? Now, if the word is being described as food, now we can bring it full circle. Okay? And we can close out on the definition of the word usury. All right? Because we just got the edification on the word bank now. Let's go into usury. Right? And it says tokos.
Strong's G 5110. Takos. Takos.
Right. It says birth, or the act of bringing forth. So that's that usury. You got to be bringing forth. Right? You got to be producing. Right? That's where you get the word reproduction from. It's got to be produced. You got to, when a woman gives birth, she produces, right, your seed. You know? That's that reproduction process. That's which is being brought forth, offspring, right? Or it says, when you look down, it says interest of money. When you slap interest rates on a particular money that you've lent to somebody, let's say, for example, look, I'm going to loan you this, but the longer you take to give it back to me, because this is what banks do. The longer you can pay it off bit by bit, but the longer you take to pay it off, the higher the interest will be. Meaning, I'm going to require more money from you back in return, because I've essentially lent you out money that I'm not going to see again until you've paid me off in full at a later date. But for that, I'm going to charge you extra. Right? It says because it multiplies money as it were breeds. Okay, so that's that usury. Right? And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it unto him that have 10 pounds. Okay? But that's the point on that parable, man. Now, I wanted to go back into this word bank because it said a table on which food, right? On which you put, let's go back into the word. Oh, a table on which food is placed, an eating place, right? Now, what did the Lord say? Let's get Revelation. Salakia, I know I'm going on a bit. Where is it now? Give me a second. Here we go. Beautiful. Let me highlight that. Right, these are the words of Yahawah. It says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, remember, he that have an ear, let him hear the parables, Matthew 13:9, right? And open the door, I will come in to him and I will sup with him and he with me. Okay? So the Lord said, if we knock on the door, he's going to come and sup with us. And what do when you sup? You eat. Okay? Let's go into this word sup right here.
Strong's G 1172, Dipneo. Dipneo.
Right, dipneo means to sup. And when you sup, you eat. You eat. Right? And you eat over what? You eat over a table. Right? Which brings this lesson to a close and concludes this lesson, man. So Lord willing, you Arkham were edified, man. The Lord said he would sup with us, man. You know, if you love me, feed my sheep. Right? Now we've been given money by the Lord to go out there and he requires it back with usury. Right? We've also been given food. This scripture is food as well as money. And we're supposed to feed the sheep over that table. We're doing exchanges over that table. All right? The bank, brothers. This lesson is going to be called the bank. Okay? So with that, Lord willing, you Arkham were edified. Right? Let me read this one more again. Luke 19 and 23. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming, right, when he comes with them chariots, I might have required my own with usury, man. All right? We're supposed to bring forth that fruit. Okay? We're supposed to be, look, man, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. That's why you got to pray that the Lord sends more laborers into that harvest, man. Okay? We ain't supposed to be them wicked servants. So, Lord willing, you Arkham were edified. Kahala Yahawah, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.